What's up YouTube? Barcode here. Today I'm bringing you another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. This video is going to be about my second underrated champ, and that's Firefox Hufei or Huffei or hello. Yeah. Sorry about the lack of content in the last couple days. I've been on solo daddy duties for about 4 days. My wife went out of town for a wedding. So this video is pretty much just going to be about Firefox Assassin. I had a lot of discussion on her and pretty much flack on why I graded her A rank compared to other Nat 3 characters on my tier list, and I'm going to show you why today. She's only built, not mind you here, she's only built 5-star right now, and she is on Brutal Precise, which is actually the gear recommendations for her. I personally would like her on Adept, but I don't have the gear for that right now. So she's just on the Brutal Precise, and right now it's just a PvE based simple gear set that I have her on. It's attack speed, crit damage, and actually accuracy. Okay, preferably I want this on attack on her bracer, and I want her gear leveled up, but I have no gold, so yeah, that is my real issue right now, is just gold and gearing these things up. She is max skilled, okay, and I'm going to be comparing her with my water snake lady, and which is not max skilled, but she is on Adept. And also I'm going to be bringing the dark timekeeper, which is on Adept as well, and then I'm also bringing water timekeeper, okay, and that's the damage that I'm going to be comparing to. All right, so let me just go over her skills real quick. Her first one deals bonus damage based on the enemy's missing HP, okay. She has a slow on her second, not really good except for maybe in an arena. She has her own raised defense and silence, which is also pretty much an arena skill. And then her ultimate actually inflicts 3 stacks of ongoing damage, okay? And then she'll backflip to get out of the way. Where I am currently using her and what I want to show you guys is a couple different things. I'll do a couple damage tests and just show you where I use her. I'm going to show you in Golden Bull, floor 10, just to compare damage wise, okay? I'm just going to bring and I'm going to compare her to my first underrated champion, which is the Nature Hag, okay? I'm bringing an attack buff, I'm bringing a defense buff, I'm bringing in an armor break, and I'm going to compare her damage to the Nature Hag. So floor 10, I'm bringing, just comparing the ongoing damage of a Nature Hag to the damage output of normal skills from Firefox, and also her ongoing damage on her ultimate. As you can see, the first 2 skills have a pretty low skill cooldown, and her ultimate does have a high skill cooldown. So when you have champions that have high skill cooldowns, Adept is really preferred. And as you can see, like, I know there's a lot of people that talk about putting Adept on Dark Dryad. However, her skills have, like, her heal is a 5-second cooldown. So putting 30% skill reduction Adept set on Dark Dryad isn't really beneficial. I mean, it's going to cut it down maybe a second and a half, something like that. But compared to other champions that have higher skill cooldowns, you're going to knock off more seconds on an Adept set on someone that has a higher skill cooldown timer. Okay, so having a 5-second skill cooldown on her heal is great. You know, she's better teamed up. You know, put her on Dazzling, or just put her on like a full just tank set or something like that, is just more beneficial, because just team her up with like 2 timekeepers and her heal is going to drop down to like 3 seconds, just like it would as an Adept set, okay? But Firefox, she does do good damage. I wish this was actually one thing that Gameloft would implement, is if we could see the actual damage numbers like we do on the minions, actually on the boss as well. It kind of irritates me. Like, when I try to theory craft, I want to see how much damage, for example, like a Munchkin would do to the boss, but we don't see that. We only see it on the minions on the floor and the crystals, but we don't see the actual damage put out on a boss. So I wish that is something that they would implement here. Okay, so we have armor breaks, we have an attack buff. We don't have Mark in this instance, but I just want to show you the kind of damage that she can put out, comparing her to another underrated champion that I did a video on myself. So that is floor 10 of just the Golden Bull. Yay, 5 shards. So let's check the damage, and comparably with crap gear, mind you, I have low crit, and she's built on crit damage, so that it's not even really benefiting her. She puts out pretty decent damage, comparing her to just a straight ongoing damage accuracy based monster. Okay, if I beefed up her gear, which I will eventually, she would be putting out more damage, but I just want to show you what kind of damage she does even on early game gear. Okay, now let's take Hufei, or hello, to Steel Wheel 10. I'm going to compare her to a Nat 4 Water Snake Lady. She's on Adept. The Water Snake Lady is not max skilled. However, it's all about that ongoing damage, really. So she's still putting off the skills, and she's on Adept. Dark Timekeeper is on Adept as well. Has ongoing damage. Water Timekeeper is not on Adept, but has high accuracy, so just an attack, so doing pretty good damage there. And the Water Timekeeper is max skilled. And then we have Dark Dryad solo healing. Okay, and this is why I like running 2 Timekeepers and 3 Timekeepers, because all of the cooldowns everywhere are just lowered dramatically. I could actually take out Water Snake Lady and put in a Fire Timekeeper who doesn't have any ongoing damage, as you saw in a previous video, and just it would increase Dark Timekeeper, Water Timekeeper, and Hufei's damage output tremendously. But I just want to show you how I can compare her Firefox to a Nat 4, 2 Nat 4s, and a Nat 3, which are both commonly used in teams like this. I'm solely relying on Dark Timekeeper to strip. So yeah, let's get to it. The skill cooldown lead with the 2 Timekeepers is going to make these skills go quick. Okay, so we have 2 Timekeepers, lowering the skill cooldowns of everyone. As you can see, Dark Dryad's heal skill is just up all the time. I mean, once you see her use it, it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, it's super quick. It goes down really fast with the Timekeepers, and even with Firefox, if she was on Adept, she'd be getting that ongoing damage so much more. But right now, currently, she's just on Brutal. And you know, since she is super squishy and 5 stars, Dark Dryad being on a low skill cooldown with the Timekeepers with the heal is extremely needed. So it's just something to point out if you're using this exact same team. Just make sure that, you know, at least you know, your gear is substantial enough to get you through. Okay. So yeah, I mean, she's putting out damage. She's getting the cooldown times from the Water Timekeeper and Dark Timekeeper, so she's putting out nice damage. She's good for the minion clears before the boss, so she's putting out good damage, making your runs a little bit more faster than it would, say, another ongoing damage monster. And I'm just comparing her as a Nat 3. I'm not comparing her. She's obviously not better than some Nat 4s and Nat 5s, but I just wanted to show this. So okay, so we're gonna need Dark Timekeeper to get that strip. So we got 7 dots already, 6 dots. You know, this is a heavy ongoing damage team right here, especially if Dark Timekeeper can strip. But if you don't have Dark Timekeeper, you can use Fire Timekeeper, you can use Light Golem. It's just a lot of different monsters you can replace with in some of these instances. Okay, so there we go, Steel Widow, 2 minutes with Firefox and crap gear, really. I don't have the best gear yet. I wish I had more time to grind. But so let's look at that damage meter. Firefox up top. Underrated for sure. A lot of people gave me flack on rating her an A, and this is before I even built her. I just knew the potential that she had. Plus, she's a 5 vs 5 monster champion, which is a top tier 5 vs 5 champion to use in the game, because she puts out a ton of damage and she's safe with all of her movements, her dashes, her backflip, etc. So she is a great underrated champion that you can use. So other places you can use Hu Fei, you can use her in arena, and she'd be more of like obviously an assassin nuker for against those high nature teams that everyone is using right now, especially since Rhoda and is so good, and, you know, Mojo is in most comps. But you know, and these are lower tier comps anyway. But you know, she does have a slow, and this actually has it's an AOE attack. So it does deal damage every time the fan strikes them. So if you team her with somebody like, for example, Gamma, who her ultimate ignores 100% of the enemy's defense when the enemy is slowed, that could be a good combo to use. Plus she's putting out burst damage, and you know, with the 3 stacks of ongoing damage put on a tank in the front line, it could do a lot of damage. But you know, using Firefox in arena probably isn't you know, efficient. If there's a lot of upfront characters, there's tons of area effect AoE damage in this game, and from what I've noticed is if you're not like a full tank comp on arena defense or offense, and you bringing squishies to the front line, they're dying pretty quickly. Another place to use her would be in Blitz. She has the ongoing damage. She has a lot of escape with the dashes and the backflips. She has her own defense buff. So when in my last video when I talked about Blitz, making a variety of champions to use is a great thing, because you can, if you need a fire nuker and you don't have one and you're facing a heavy nature Blitz enemy team, then you can use her, for example, and get things done. I mean, she's going to have the 25% damage boost against nature and take less damage against nature. So she's just a great monster to use in many different places. Obviously, you're not going to use her in Elder Drake 10, so that's why I didn't rate her in S. If we could use her in Elder Drake 10, then I could possibly rate her in S, because my tier lists are all about overall use in all content provided in the game, and you can pretty much use her everywhere except for Elder Drake 10, and quite possibly you probably can't use her in the Water Bowl dungeon, because why would you? She's fire. Anyway, so that's all the time I had today. Sorry about the lack of content. I'll try to get more content out as soon as I can. Just a busy guy right now. So thanks for watching, and tune into the next video. Peace.